Sub YouTube, Cardfight King here, coming at you guys with a Lokes report slash look ahead to the set 11. Um, I went to locals on Monday at GB Games at Ellicott City. Really great place, chill. Owners are awesome. Vanguard tournaments are always Mondays, around 5:30. So if you can't stop in, you're in the Maryland area, please do. So I'm with the Lokes report. Of course, I took my Aquaforce. I went 4-0, undefeated for first place, and finally got myself a Maelstrom mat. I was thinking, how can I run Aquaforce and not have my Aquaforce mat? So, got that for my first place finish. And now I guess I'm gonna go ahead and break down my matchups and how they went. So round one, played against Aquaforce. Really good player named Clinton. Game one, he did get Gray stuck a bit, and I double crit him on 3. So that nothing really much to be said about that one. Game two, it was pretty much it was a grind game. We were both blocking well, guarding well. He didn't want my glory to get the limit break. I didn't want his glory to get the limit break. So we're pretty much playing defensive. I was trying to play for the crit trigger, but he ended up decking out. I had 2 cards left in deck. He had 1, and it was my turn. So I won by a deck out. That's when you could tell you pretty much have a really good match on your hands. So yeah, I did 2-0 him round 1. In round 2, I played against my man Stephen Campbell. You're gonna see him featured on this channel a bunch of times soon. Played against his signature clan, Nova Grappler's Beast Deity, the Illuminal build. He got grade stuck badly at grade 1, and I rushed him down from that point on. Nothing much to be said about that. Game two was pretty good, but I guess in our recap of that, he was trying to save. It was either he chances the critical on 4, or he blocks it, but then is left with a crippled field and a crippled hand for next turn. So he did chance it, and I did pull a crit trigger off the top. So I guess the chance didn't work out in his favor. But it happens. But it was actually game 2 was really good. So at that point I'm 2-0, and I am playing against Mason, who's playing with his Bermuda Triangle Prism deck. Labrador, of course. He was also 2-0. We were playing. This was pretty much a vanilla match, really, because we were both in top 4 automatically, because we were only 2-0 people there. Kind of a smaller tournament. Game 1, he got the break right off of Vert. He was getting off Labrador's limited break ability, 10,000, call 3 rear guards, 10,000 power, and an extra crit. But I had Pascal's waiting for him. I had 2 in my hand, and then I drove check a 3rd one for his last one. I run 4, but like I said, you got to run 4 of these. You want to see them early and often, especially in the upcoming format with break rods. You got to have them. And he single-handedly won me game 1, and then I finished him off with Glory's ability. But single-handedly won game 1. Game 2, he was stuck on Vert for the most of the card fight. I was getting off some effects too, but we weren't really hitting triggers that game, but he wasn't able to break ride Labrador. He did damage check her early. Couldn't pull out some advantage. I try to sack his field as much as I can to reduce, card advantages, open up a path for victory for me. And when he did break Ride Labrador at the end of the game, I had a few of had Pascal waiting and ready in the wing. So that was right on. After that, I was 3-0. All right, and in top four, I went up against Clint again. Great Aquaforce player, went up against him again. Game one, it was pretty. I pretty much used Glory. I used Glory. He had perfect guards and things in his hand, but he didn't have enough grade zeros in his hand to block Glory's attack. So Glory put in work, came through at the end, of course. Game two, I was getting off Maelstrom's ability. He did have to ride Diamantes, so I was able to get off some Basil columns, and I had Benedict, but he was guarding well. He hit multiple heal triggers. Was hitting, and was able to keep himself alive in the game. And I honestly had the field advantage. I had some good hand advantage, but when you ride Glory, you're on 5 damage, and you swing with Ultimate Break, and you don't have any grade zeros in your hand. He just wins the game for you. So I had perfect guards and grade 1s and 2s and stuff in my hand, but I didn't have any. I only had a draw trigger, so I wasn't able to stop Glory from swinging in. So that was a game 2 loss. Game 3, that was probably I consider that's my most well played game, because I knew what Glory did, and on 2 damage I did, or no 3, excuse me, I did cross ride over Maelstrom really early. I was just putting up the 13k defense because he was able to get a Diamantes and like a Maelstrom or something else. So I cross rode in order to negate an entire column, because that's its weakness with Aquaforce, is generally when you're cross riding, that whole the columns that switch and hit won't work. So I negated an entire column, and I kept up pressure on his Vanguard and his other column that was utilizing a booster. So late, till it got later in the game, he didn't let me get to Ultimate Break. I wasn't trying to let his Maelstrom skill hit at all, really. I used up all about 3 or 4 perfect guards on him alone, really, because I was drawing into all my grade zeros, but I refused to use grade zeros to block him because I wanted to save just in case, because I knew he was going to cross ride that game. So I pretty much, he did cross ride, but I pretty much kept my zeros in for the Maelstrom for Glory. So I was reduced to, at the end of the game, I was reduced to a field of Glory, Maelstrom, Dorothea, and he had his Maelstrom. I swung in with Glory. Of course, I wasn't at limit, so I swung in for 19 on his Vanguard. He gave me 2 to pass, and I hit a crit trigger and a draw trigger and broke for game. So I did go 4-0, undefeated. Had the best record. And now Stephen Campbell, he did win against Mason in top 4, but they did cut at that point, and it was best record, first place, second place, winner of the Mason and Stephen fight, or not? Yeah. So yeah. That's pretty much how I did it. Some key units today, or the other day. Benedict put in a ton of work. You just put triggers on him. He can swing for 1 unboosted hit, stand and swing for another boosted hit. Very, very versatile. Causes issues. Draws a lot of attacks towards him. I put in from my previous deck profile. I did put in a third Basil. He was very useful today because at one point, Clint Aquafort's guy did have to ride Diamantes, and I was up against the 10k Vanguard at some point today, and I was just able to have him in for that extra poke damage. Extra poke damage really does come in handy. So yeah, that's pretty much my locals report for that, and just a little bit coming to the oncoming set. Set 11, we're going to be at the sneak peek at Squabbles and Chibi Games this Saturday. It was probably good old Maelstrom's, maybe Benedict's too, last tournament, for real, because I will, with full confidence, of course, I will acquire 4 Transcore Dragons. Benedict is definitely probably going to stay in, maybe even a Maelstrom, because I only have 3 Glories right now, but for set 11, definitely going to be a Transcore Glory deck. I really can't wait till Transcore comes out. Something that we've desperately needed. I think he's a great standalone Vanguard too. Can hit cross rides without a boost. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Looking forward to Transcore. Looking forward to changing this deck up with the new Twin Strike units and different Aqua Force units coming out in set 11. Hopefully, I can get. I will definitely put an updated deck profile of the sneak peek results. And yeah, things to look forward to coming up soon. Hopefully, we get my brother's Sealed Dragon deck complete. Get a profile of that out. Have Dauntless Drive Dote maybe. Want to see if we can get a few card fights on here too. So yeah, a lot of stuff to looking forward to. But this has been the King himself, Card Fight King. Remember always, if you don't draw it, it don't work. Peace, YouTube.